All right, guys. Like I said, welcome to August 22nd's Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing. 3 events happening right now across the country. What's really cool is SIG Michigan Miles, 200 something cars there, 300 cars there. And then Dragway Rush is just over the border. So like in this pocket of Michigan and whatever you would call that of Canada, there's like 400 plus drag and drive cars driving around. So think about how that changes the dynamic of local businesses, but also like local auto enthusiasts, right? So they start seeing all these cool cars pulling trailers and doing all that kind of stuff. And Cruise and Loose started yesterday. They're going to run yesterday, today, and tomorrow in Nebraska. So kind of all over the country. So this will be kind of fun. We're going to actually go over all 3 of the stats from those events here in just a few minutes. So you guys get ready. September. What's really weird about September is last year we called this like the month of insanity or something. There were like 9 events in September last year. There are literally 3 events in September this year. We've got Drag Week, which is gigantic. We've got Redwood Rally, which of course is gigantic on the West Coast, and we have 666, which we know it's going to be huge too, and that's going to be in the central part of the country. So this is really interesting to me. Actually, thinking about it now, we'll have Drag Week running, Chicago, Cordova, St. Louis, and back up. So it'll kind of be in that, Missouri, Illinois area, Iowa area. And then 666 is running southern Missouri, side to side, and then up to the middle part of the state. So should be pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot of cars going to be there during the month of September. But man, I can't wait to get to Drag Week. This thing's going to be bad freaking ass.
Yeah, I wish I could make it to Drag Week, but I'll be at 666, so I'll see you there for that one.
Yeah, and that's what you're getting your car ready for, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so what's the countdown to that?
I
month
need to
and 5 days?
Yeah, something like that. It's like I need to change my board. Right now I still have my thrash from trying to get this ready for the circuit up on the board. I need to go ahead and put a countdown up there for 666, but a little more testing on the car, and then I got to start getting the trailer ready and do some practice driving with the trailer because I got to make sure this hitch and everything I built works.
You've never pulled a trailer, dude? It's gonna be life changing. Yeah,
no, I was on the first time it blew up when it originally threw the rod. I was on my way to Lou's house. Lou's been on the live stream with me a few times in my garage working on this thing. I was on my way to his house to build the hitch when it threw the rod.
Oh, no way.
So we just went ahead and towed it there and still built the hitch, but then I hadn't had a chance to drive it till this week. So
that's crazy, man. Well, my plan is to come up for day 1 or come down for day 1 at MoCan. I'm going to be at Kansas City that weekend. So with Flying H and Midwest Drag Race Series. So it'd be kind of fun mixing pro mods and then street cars,
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip and during the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
For sure. And you guys know drivenracingoil.com. Use code DDR10 to get you 10% on your entire order. All right, and then October has become a busy month. Now we've got 6 events in October. We've got Weekend Warrior Race and Relax, October 2nd through 4th. Of course, Race Week, which my plan is to do. It may be changing. Steven is trying to talk me into doing Tulsa, MoCan, and Great Bend. But currently my plan is to do Thunder Valley, Tulsa, and MoCan, and then come home. So we'll see. I don't know. I want to take the old truck. So that's kind of I've got to have it ready for Drag Week, get through Drag Week, and then we're going to come up here to Race Week. Of course, we've got Route 66 Roundup, which is our own event, starting at the Tulsa Midnight Drags, and then going to we're going to start Tulsa Midnight Drag. So midnight, drag racing starts. You make your passes until the midnight's close. Then we're meeting at Crossroads Diner at 6 a.m. for breakfast.
Oh my
and
God.
we're going to come back and eat at Import Face-Off. So typically the midnights, if it is a large enough car count, which we should be bringing 40 cars with us probably, so we could run till 4 a.m. at the midnights. Okay. then you get in your car and you drive, and then you come back and import face-off. So there's going to be people that have not slept. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be a really good time. So that's October 17th. Registration did open today, which is what I was supposed to say a second ago. Sorry. Let me jump down here and get the link. I'll drop that into the chat. And you don't have to register for this event, but the benefit for it is that I'm going to do some kind of giveaway within the pre-registered folks. So I don't know what the cutoff is, what that giveaway is yet. I haven't figured that out, but it's going to be a fun one. I may even do entry for the short circuit. Southeast Street Meet, October 20th through 24th. Dragon Dash, the 21st through the 24th. The only Dragon Drive event in Texas for the year. How crazy is that, dude? Texas, like the entire state of Texas has one Dragon Drive.
I'm actually surprised how few there are in Texas, because there's that event, and then I think the only other one that's in Texas is if Rocky Mountain Race Week does their like central north south route.
Yeah, and they didn't do that this year because they were back in the mountains with Kearney and Pueblo. So
and that's where it belongs, honestly. That needs to be back in the mountains. That's really awesome 100%. That they're back up there.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I love them having Great Bend back open, and I love that Bandimere hopefully will be open maybe by 2028 event. I just don't know if they could get it done by 2027, but maybe that would be really cool. But yeah, the only way for Texans to do a semi-local Dragon Drive event is to do Wild West Dragon Dash. That's pretty wild to me, dude. It really blows my mind. And then, of course, Street Machine Drag Challenge, one of the, I think it's like the second or third oldest Dragon Drive that's out there. This is in Australia. It's October 27th through 31st. Oh, yeah, Jesse has it. Says we for sure have enough tracks to do 8th mile stuff. And that's what surprised me. I want to talk about this for just a second. We'll leave this up. So Wild West Dragon Dash gets us on a lack of Texas Dragon Drives. We talk about that. Everybody is worried about saturation, right? When you start looking at the map that we have, the interactive map, you start seeing these huge holes, right? There's really areas that have no events, especially in 2026. We'll find out if that will happen in 2027. But for folks that are trying to get into this, dude, can you imagine your first event? You have to drive 1,000 miles to get to your first event. Hey, honey, my first event's going to be a week-long event. Hey, I've also got to leave 2 days early because I want to drive up there. I'm going to be 2 days back. So I'm going to be gone like 11 days. I know we're not going to go on a family vacation this year, but I'm going to go have a lot of fun. Or you could go to a weekend event like, Wild West Dragon Dash, 4 days. And you could go to that. But what if October 21st to 24th doesn't work for your schedule? Dude, Texas, you could race as early as February, probably, right? May?
The tracks are open in February. I've been to a test and tune in February this year.
Man, see, and everybody worries about saturation. There's no reason we can't have another 20 or 30 weekend events across the country. It doesn't have to go crazy. We don't need some kind of big, we don't need 30 more events, but there's nothing in the Southwest. There's very few in the Northwest. There's a few more in the Northeast this time. But dude, you're talking about one event. So, yeah. Canadian Chuck Norris here, Mr. Rich Guido saying not a Dragon Drive, but the Wisconsin Outlaw Stick Shift race September 10th is going to be crazy. Ooh, with Brett showing up with a snot rocket with the stick shift.
I'm excited to see that.
Wow. That ought to be pretty impressive. And to go all the way to Wisconsin with that car is going to be badass. So that car's going to be really, really fast. All right. Last two events of the year for Dragon Drives where you're going to drive your car is going to be the Drag Drive Repeat Short Circuit at George Ray's Wildcat Drag Strip in Paragould, Arkansas, presented by Deechworks. I can't wait. This event has been years in the making. I've literally been talking to Tyler for 2 years. This should be a ton of fun. And then, of course, Road Trip Drag Challenge, Warwick Dragway in Australia. This should be something that we're going to do some back and forth chit-chat and see if we can do some trash talk. Oh, man. Yeah, Rodney Reeves with the idea of the day here. I love this. He says, I want to do a Louisiana event, Bayou Cruise and Brews at some point. Bud, let's get together.
That would be awesome.
I want to talk about this. And, last year 2024 maybe. Bank Shift, Chad Reynolds tried to put something together, but I think the timing was too short to try and get that. And he was going to do it in February, which we need a big event in that early part of the year in the South. So, and then Jesse Hazlitt saying, last year my last pass was December 15th, and first pass this year was in February. I mean, dude, that's what's great about Texas now. It's hotter than all Hades down there right now, but we'll see.
It's a high of I think 107 today here in Fort Worth.
Man, gross. Dude, that doesn't make any sense. One event that we don't have on the list because we're not going to be driving, obviously, during that, but is our Drag and Drive Awards at PRI, presented by Summit Racing. I'm excited to. This will be our 4th year to do that, so it should be really fun to get into this. And of course, that's where we award the points champion for the overall champion, and then 850 and 10-0, and then also all of the other awards like the Molly Motorsports Toughest Roadside Repair. Drag and Drive ambassadors, all that kind of stuff. So that's December 11th. I see December 12th through 14th, and we're doing our award show on the 13th at 3 p.m. So that's at Friday afternoon. So 49 events for the year here in Drag and Drive. Pretty insane considering in 2022 there were 11. You can find the full schedule. I'm dropping the link over there. But dragdriverpete.com/events takes you to the interactive map and all the fun stuff we do over there. We've got a full list with links to the events, dates, host tracks, all that kind of stuff. Travis Wise in here, our favorite trophy maker. Appreciate him and all he does for us. Revved Up Custom Laser Works for him. He's done our trophies for several years and our belts and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to Driven. If you are at Sick Michigan Miles, please go over and see Michael Neal. Tell them thank you for all they do. They're big supporters of Sick the Magazine, big supporters of us here at Drag Driver Pete. All right, sir. Man, I'm sorry. I'm rolling here, man. I've gone way too long on this stuff. Let me play this Deech Works and then we'll talk about some. Well, you know how we kind of make this thing work here. It's Race Car Friends, and I just want to say a big shout out to one of the Race Car Friends who jumps on your live stream. I would say regularly, maybe not often, but regularly. Mr. Jan Haas. So one of our longtime Race Car Friends started doing Drag and Drives with us in 2020. So super freaking cool. Appreciate him and all he does for the community. But guys, hit the share button as we jump into here. We've got a lot to do this morning, so I'm going to keep rolling on this. You know, we can't do this without our sponsors. So if you guys are shopping, we'd love for you to hit these folks up. We have just a few more days left on the discount codes I have for Summit Racing, which is 50 off 500 or 100 off 1,000. Hit me up if you need those. I carry those in my backpack, in my pocket. I have those on me all the time. So if you need one, holler. We've got Summer Racing, of course, our title sponsor here at the show and news, and of course at the circuit, our big event every year. Deech Works, the official fuel delivery of Drag Driver Pete, and the title sponsor for the short circuit coming up at the beginning of November. Can't wait for that. Molly Motorsports, of course, best Pistons in the game, running Molly Motorsports in Eric's Mustang. Can't wait to release that thing. Driven Racing Oil, of course. Those dudes are so busy. Michael Neal is at another event. I've been talking about this. He's been on the road for 3 weeks. He said he will not be home for 20 days because he's out going to events and things like that with Driven. So pretty freaking cool. And of course, Howard's Cams, the official Valve Train sponsor of Drag Driver Pete here. I mean, Luke B and the boys over there are awesome. J-Wire Solutions, which Cole and I were just talking about before the show. I'm really trying to figure out how I'm going to get by in CJ this coming weekend. We'll talk about that in a minute. AFCO Racing Products, of course, more than just suspensions, cooling brakes, all that kind of stuff. Performer Built Transmissions, which is the baddest GM transmission builder on the planet. I mean, they put a 4L60 in the 7s, bro. Like a 4L60, you hear me? Not an 80, 4L60 in the 7th. Car Chains 3D printed products. I mean, this guy is awesome. We're going to talk about some of his new stuff for the Fox Body guys here in just a minute. And, of course, Low Dollar Motorsports. Anything you need to go faster, those guys have it for your sensor stuff. You need to see your shock travel data. You need to see any kind of pressure you're building, anything, anywhere, they've got it set up there. So